So again, I'll just ask, can you just talk about what you're trying to do in microtonal music? And
Right. Mostly in microtonal music, I like to manipulate the harmonic spectrum. A lot of times, I wrote a lot of pieces for the orchestra or large ensembles, dealing mostly with harmonic series and kind of how to manipulate and kind of get that really cool synthetic texture, synthetic timbre from the orchestra or ensemble. It's kind of like digital synthesis of sounds, but in this case it'll be just orchestral synthesis. So that's what I'm doing for the past couple of years. I'm kind of straying away from that now because it's I kind of find that really restraining in what you cannot do. So we'll see how it goes.
and what about how do actually trained musicians respond to microtonal music? Do you find people accepting of it, or do you find them a little skeptical, or?
Depends on the instrument, really. It's a violin or a string instrument, it's pretty easy to just, move the finger a little bit. For wind instrument, it also depends. Brass, for example, they take it pretty well. But woodwinds, depending on the woodwind instrument, they'll have a lot of problems with fingerings and that kind of thing. So I'll have to also kind of make sure that they know what they're doing before playing.
Can you maybe talk about some of your influences in terms of composers or musicians, but also perhaps artists outside of music, if you've had any influences from them too?
Right. Well, in music, I grew up in very classically, very romantic. I would say Tchaikovsky's one of my kind of personal favorite, nostalgic favorite. I'm a big fan of Messiaen, and of course the spectralists like Jacques Risset. Friedrich Haas is another really great influence on me. Big fan. Not non-music wise. I am a video gamer, a hardcore video gamer, and so it's still music, but it's more popular and accessible music, and that's kind of like my guilty pleasure as well. Yeah.
Nice. Can you talk a little bit about your use of electronics?
Right. I mainly work with Max patches for about a couple of years. Not today though. Today I'm going to go with analog things, see how that goes. But electronic music, I worked mostly with DAWs before I worked with live music. I made MIDI synthesis music, mainly for popular music. I also do vocal arrangements for people, and film soundtracks or game soundtracks. I've done that before as well, and it's mostly just using the MIDI and a lot of VSTs.
And you find that's, again, another way to extend the techniques and stuff of your compositional possibilities.
They influence each other, really. So my composition studies kind of helped with the digital things or more popular things I do. And the popular things and less academic things also kind of influenced my academic studies on composition.
Interesting. What would you say your plans are, say, short-term and long-term plans as a composer and musician?
Well, short-term, I think I've come to terms with what kind of person I am, a filthy memer, and just an internet person. So I think I'll be embracing that a little more in the future. In the long term, well, I really don't know. Mainly composing, I'd say. I really like composing. Hopefully for a video game, that'll be awesome. But also for, large-scale classical ensembles as well. That'll also be great.
Is that a tough... How do you get to access to larger ensembles or orchestras?
It's
when you're a composer?
right. It's all about connections, really. The professors you have, the friends you made. If you played in the orchestra, you have an extra an extra card you can use to get the players to play your things. So yeah, it is definitely not something you just walk in and say, I want you guys to play this.
Right. And I suppose, well, there's obviously writing competitions too. Composition.
Right, composition competitions.
Yes,
10 times
exactly.
fast.
Yes, exactly. And do you plan to, have you gone into those, or are you planning to try to go into those too, or?
Not as of now, but hopefully next year when I have a rich enough repertoire collection, then I'll try to go for some of the competitions there.